Peace, love, and hair grease, everybody. This is Omar, and you are with Cinematic Anarchy. Here we have El Jefe, Chris.
Hey!
We have Miss Nico.
Hello!
And today we're talking about the comedic horror films, Sleepaway Camp, Parts 2 and 3. If you were with us last week, we did 1. We're doing 2 and 3 today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the trip.
Comedic horror? That wasn't a docudrama? Are you sure?
No, it was.
I must have watched the wrong films. No. So Angela Baker back for part 2 and 3, different actress altogether.
Yeah.
This bitch killed so many fucking people and she was only in fucking probation for, 2 years? What the fuck is that shit?
Probation, psych ward, sex change. Yeah.
Electroshock therapy.
Went from Peter... went from Angela Baker to Angela Johnson. We were actually talking earlier that for some reason this girl gravitates towards euphemisms for male genitalia.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Johnson, Peter. I'm surprised that at one point she didn't call herself Dick. I mean,
she went from having a Peter to having a cooter.
Okay, well there you go. So we're gonna go ahead and start by sort of recapping the kills from the first movie. So. I'm actually, the reason why I liked this series, up until maybe the third one, Teenage Wasteland, I wasn't so impressed with.
No.
But the first 2 movies, at the very least, there were a lot of creative kills.
Yeah.
Albeit, Angela didn't seem to put a whole lot of effort into beating some of these people down. Like, it was like a whack with a stick and you're down.
It was pathetic.
She didn't hit him in the head, she hit him in the back. What's going on?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But kills from the first movie were some of my favorites. You get Artie getting boiled alive with the big old pot full of water. You got the killer bees. You got the man being drowned in the lake.
Yep.
Let's see. Bring up some.
I was really fond
something.
of the fucking cutting that kid's throat with the Freddy Krueger claw.
Part 2. Okay,
cutting
part
his
2.
face off.
Part 2. The ones that were trying to scare her.
Yeah.
Right.
Cut his face off, wear that, and the other girls didn't even realize that it was someone's actual fucking face. They fucking took it off her.
They're doing the Leatherface routine.
Yeah, they tackled her, and they're like, oh my god, and then takes her fucking mask off. Oh, Angela.
First of all, how did you clean that quick?
Yeah,
Obviously, that's going to leave blood, but...
There was nothing on her face. She's perfectly fucking clean. Like, bitch.
Except for the part, and probably because it was on the script. I love it. Because she went to the bathroom. She was ready to kill this girl and the cheerleader and the football guy that were in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Getting rock hard to some semi-hard rock. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that scene. She went, and the door was locked. And I think her chainsaw malfunctioned. She was about to go in the bath. She came.
She sees her with the fucking chainsaw.
Yeah. And she's like, that's cute. But your blood looks like ketchup. That was the only part where it seemed a little real because she didn't clean up super fast.
Right.
But other than that, it was full of little bloopers and mishaps and carelessness throughout.
Okay, so we're not talking about the kills from the first movie anymore. We're going right into the second one. So when I say I was talking about the kills from the first movie, so I was talking about Sleepaway Camp number 1.
Yeah, okay.
And we slid right into Sleepaway Camp number 2. So you know what? The hell with the first movie. We've already done that. Let's just talk about the second movie. Let's talk about how in the hell this girl, how much of a stalker she must have been to open that movie.
Okay, so another thing, fucking in the second fucking Sleepaway Camp, why is she fucking allowed to go back to camp? Like, authorities know that she changed her name, right?
Correct. I mean, she had to have gone and legally changed her name unless she just changed her name and got, a fake ID.
Yeah.
You know.
Fucking... I don't even fucking know, man. How the fuck is this bitch allowed back at a fucking... Oh, my God. Oh, my God! This fucking series.
So she didn't even change her first name, either. It was it was Angela...
Yeah!
In the first movie. Or actually, I guess it was Peter in the first movie. Then the aunt changed to Angela, so his name is still legally Peter.
Yeah.
But the aunt has decided, you know what, we're going to raise you as Angela instead of Peter. Even though legally, you're a boy, you're now a girl. all that psychological abuse, obviously. I figure the aunt killed her husband. And this girl got a lot of her mindset from her aunt, that twisted woman from the first movie. She takes that into the second movie and is just a straight-out serial murderer at this point. By no means Jason or Michael Myers. We're not talking about some big hulking guy that is supernaturally...
She's like 110 pounds with an anchor tied to her feet.
Yeah, basically. Soaking wet.
Yeah.
Wearing a lot of clothes.
And a Brillo pad for a set of hair here. Wow, that was the locks she had on her.
Terrible.
One other thing that I found that was a little creative about the plot is that this is a serial killer driven by morality.
Right.
Which is not a recurring theme in a lot of movies.
Okay.
Everything else was super predictable.
Yeah.
But I like that part. The way she used morality as an excuse to kill.
Well, almost all of it. Like, the last couple of kills, she seems to, like, go off the deep end.
Yeah, that time she's already lost her shit.
With the first movie, the little kids didn't do anything to her. She just killed them all.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, there was a couple of people that didn't deserve to die in the second movie either. The little girl is, you're going to tell.
Yeah.
You're dead.
So it seems like recurring on these movies where it's basically killing season for her, him, shim. It's killing season, which basically she uses morality to justify the killing, and then it intensifies to the level towards the end where she's just killing. It's like a recurring procession of things, I believe. But it was creative enough to me, that part.
Yeah, it starts off as a morality thing, and then she loses all control nearing the end.
Yeah.
Everything else was super predictable, including the football guy and the girl that at that moment she didn't kill.
Well, she did. She used that as an excuse to kill her
later on.
A couple of scenes later, in the toilet, mind you. Like in a latrine full of...
At that moment, like, I feel like probably she's not going to kill them. If she killed them, that would have been too predictable. But now it's predictable if she doesn't kill them too. Well, and then, bingo, doesn't kill them.
Yeah.
If you notice her pattern throughout the entire movie, is she doesn't kill anybody in pairs. There's only one set, I believe, that she killed in pairs, and it was the two little kids at the end of the third movie. The peeping Toms that got,
No, she killed the twins.
Oh, the third movie, the second movie, I'm sorry.
And that is one thing I overlooked. You are right.
But she killed the twins separately.
She did.
Yeah.
She didn't kill them together. She got the first twin, killed it, and then woke the second twin up, and then doused her in gasoline and killed her too.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The only two I don't know about the kids that were in the camp in the first movie, but the only two that I can remember that she killed side by side were those two little kids, the peeping Toms from the second movie, that she basically rigged something up to make them look like they were still peeping in somebody's window.
In the third movie, she kills a couple of people that are like fucking. She kills the counselor that's trying to fuck the camper.
Mm-hmm.
She kills them together, and well, I guess they kind of weren't together because they were both asleep. But like the two guys that kept fucking picking on her, the guy with the fucking firecrackers.
Right.
She blew his fucking face off with firecracker when he was sleeping next to the other dude.
Yeah.
And the other dude wakes up and she's like, "No, fuck you."
Snowboy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Snowboy and I can't remember the other guy's name. Yeah, so they were side by side. Yeah, I guess that would probably be as close to two people being next to each other at the same time that she killed them.
Yeah.
I
can't stand the third one. She's so reckless and sloppy and fucking like, I don't know how the fuck their camps are within close range of each other. How the fuck is no one hearing the echoes of the fucking screams throughout the forest?
That was one of the problems that I had with the last movie.
The loneliness of the night and the forest.
Right? Like, that shit's not quiet.
No,
the third movie,
anything.
like that woman, the camp counselor woman,
fucking screaming like, bitch, where is everybody?
Like screaming bloody blue murder. First of all, that is
how the fuck did no one hear the goddamn lawnmower?
The lawnmower, the woman being killed.
Because they were high. Nah, but it's true. They should have had people like doing something, being intoxicated, inebriated, whatever, to make it look plausible that they couldn't hear all this shit going on, because the distance was not that much, and you could hear a bear walking at a pretty good distance when you're camping in the forest.
I mean, I get that they kind of all went off in their own separate directions to...
Yeah.
But it's not like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the background of this camp.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of kids running around. This is literally, we're talking the third movie now, right?
Yeah.
There was literally just nothing going on. The first and the second movies, there were a bunch of kids. You kind of could have gotten a little bit drowned out by the noise over here, the noise over there, but...
Yeah.
This last movie, the place was empty. The place, all those people got murdered the last time around. They're using this place strictly because I'm guessing they got a good price on being here because it was the murder camp.
The most noise in the third one was Riff with his fucking boombox.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So this week I watched all three, by the way. I don't know if anybody was here last week, remember? I made the mistake of watching the second and not the first one. So this week I watched all three.
Oh, okay.
What I was able to kind of watch the second one more understandably, and there was still lots of
plot holes,
lots of potholes to the plot where I was like, oh my, but the first one was better, and I'm not sure
by far.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why you could visibly, obviously, and I'm not a movie expert, and obviously you had a better budget for the second and third one. You could have done better with that story.
Yeah.
I think cinematically the first one was presented a lot better too.
Yeah, they did a lot. You can see the effort, even though you can visibly tell they had less money to do it.
Yeah.
But this other two, they
just
were kind of funny.
Awful.
It was.
I don't think they were trying to be comedic about it either.
But it was funny.
But it was funny. How bad awful. It was. Yeah.
I think they were trying their best to do sort of a female Freddy Krueger kind of thing, just with the puns that she was trying to lay out there. None of them worked particularly well, but they were trying.
A pun that a lot of people may have missed.
Okay.
And a lot of people may have noticed. You guys probably noticed and don't remember right now because he was really quick. Who the peeping Toms were, the ones that were taking the picture.
Okay.
Charlie and Emilio. I love that pun.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember that?
Charlie and
Emilio have been coming here for a year. Shout out to Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Okay, I did not pick up on that.
Two actors who I admire, who happen to be siblings. And, I noticed that. I'm like, wait, and rewound it. Oh, shit. And those are the peeping Toms there.
So, I found second movie. There was another actress, the one that survived till the end, that I was trying to place. For the love of me, I'm even watching the third movie, and I'm like, who the hell was that girl? Finally looked her up on IMDb and realized that Renee Estevez, she was the friend of Winona Ryder in the Heathers movie.
I remember Heathers.
And we were discussing, we gotta
watch it. I know, I've been fucking meaning to watch it for years, and I just don't know why I never did. I've got plenty of time to watch fucking movies, clearly.
Should we do Heathers and invite another female guest?
Yeah, why not?
We should do Heathers one of these days, invite another female to have a dark sense of humor like Nico, and we will enjoy it. We should probably just let them take over.
There's a Miss April at work that used to work right beside me that's interested in getting in on the podcast some point. April. She used to sit right next to me.
Yeah, that probably...
Nobody knows what I'm talking about here on the podcast. I have another job.
Oh, I know April. But April is her name?
April, yes.
April. Just haven't watched Heather.
But she's been actually hoping that we're going to pick up on that Frankenhooker movie soon. Because she's been wanting to be part of the Frankenhooker.
We should do Heathers with her too. I think she and her talking about Heathers, we probably will take a break and just sit here and drink beer and watch them.
Right. Well, if we're going to sit here and drink beer and watch them, we're going to have to do that at a different hour because I can't drink beer at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We probably should bring Stephen, who tries to be drunk by 3 p.m. on Sundays.
It's a 5-person, but that's a lot of noise going on. 5 people.
No, it was be them. On Heathers, it will. This is just a suggestion. On Heathers, it should be them.
Just have April and...
If we do Mean Girls too, we should probably do a month of crazy women movies, and it should be them.
Single white female. You want to talk crazy women movies?
Oh,
I'm down.
Monster. Monster was crazy. Was it Monster?
Monster-in-Law?
No, Monster with Charlize Theron.
Oh, Monster? Yes, Monster. With Charlize and, what's her name?
I can't forget. The one from the Addams Family,
The one
right?
from the Addams Family,
Yeah. I keep forgetting her name. Her.
The one from the Addams Family. Wednesday Addams.
Christina Ricci.
There we go. I haven't seen enough of her lately. The name's not fresh in my head.
Yeah.
Last movie that I saw with her was that Wolf movie. The
Black Snake Moan. Wasn't that her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like her in that movie, to be honest with you. It was an alright movie, but just...
I enjoy Samuel L. Jackson because he likes challenging roles, and I enjoy that. That he will take some roles that you don't expect him to take.
Sam
Breaker role was a crackhead, and he did that while he was on rehab from crack addiction.
Sam's
so
a man.
Talk about a challenge.
You have to, if you like Sam Jackson, you got to watch that.
That was Jungle Fever. I don't know if you watched that movie.
I don't think so.
Well, Spike Lee movie with Wesley Snipes and my old-time crush.
You got me at Wesley Snipes. I'm ready. I'll watch it.
Wesley Snipes and Annabella Sciorra, and Samuel L. Jackson was Wesley Snipes' brother, who happened to be a crack addict. Watch it.
I will.
You got to watch an old trauma movie called Death by Temptation.
Oh God.
Sam Jackson and Kadeem Hardison.
I heard about that. I haven't watched it.
There's a couple of people that have been in older trauma movies that actually did decent for themselves. The guy that Sean Gunn, the guy that's doing a lot of Marvel movies right now, is actually helming the Suicide Squad movie for DC as well. He started in Troma.
Nice.
He was one of their directors and writers. Got in a lot of trouble for that stuff he did for Toxic Avenger. That's how he lost his job for a short period of time. Until everybody was like, well, the hell with that. You hired him knowing what he was doing.
Yeah.
People called you out for it, and now you're like, oh, well, now we've got to make sure we fire him so everybody's nice and quiet now. Yeah. Got to let too many people up in arms. You know what?
He has shut the fuck up as of recently.
People do shit in their youth that they regret later on in life, and let's just be honest.
We've all have though.
If you've come to terms, you've made your penance with that shit. There are certain things you don't ever forgive for, but if you went and filmed a movie that was for a company that is notorious for being just low budget, offensive outright, you know what you got yourself into, and you hire the person knowing their cinematic history. You could look that stuff up. It's not like the olden times where you don't have the fucking internet to look it up.
Well, if any actors don't really give a fuck, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
And he will say, just like I said, he doesn't give a fuck. But
he did another Shaft movie. Yes, he doesn't.
Most actors will be like, one this thing hidden under a rock, never took them out.
So we got way off base here, talking about a bunch of different stuff. Way off base.
That's how bad that movie was. Sorry, guys.
Both of them.
It was really bad.
We had 3. I felt like when I don't know if you guys ever watched Toxic Avenger at all.
I don't think so.
I've watched all 4 incarnations of the Toxic Avenger, and parts 2 and 3 were literally split up from what was this 4-hour epic movie. So they originally filmed it all as one big movie. They cut it up to make 2 separate movies because they didn't think anybody was going to sit through a 4-hour movie. It's a Tromo movie that's going straight to VHS.
Yeah.
Just put it out. That being said, that's what I felt like this movie was. This movie felt like it was just 2 halves of the same movie. You got a break in between because they made it 2 movies.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it felt like she went straight from that movie into the next movie, and it didn't feel like there was a lot of time in between because they filmed them a year apart. So we're going to bank off the second one by making the third one. They made a 4th one, which I have not seen.
Was it 2 years on the second movie? According to the movie, that they said went by. Yeah, they made it 1 year apart, but they're talking about 2 years, so...
No, I don't think they were implying that it's been 2 years since she was last at the first camp. I think she was just at the psych ward for 2 years, going through the electroshock therapy and the surgery and
a lot
the
went
rehab.
on for it to be just... Yeah, that is true.
And, like, she could have been on probation for a while after the 2 years in the fucking psych. So, like, she couldn't go anywhere outside the state, and I'm assuming that's outside her state.
Let me just say, the second movie, nearing the end, I love how she used that as their speech. She's talking about, I went through 2 years of psych and a sex change, and a lot has changed, and I'm cured. And she's saying this surrounded by everybody that she's killed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I just murdered all these people, but I'm cured. I'm fine now.
They let me out, so I've got to be fine.
I could imagine that being such a great work with a... I'm not going to say better budget, because...
Yeah.
The original one, you visibly...
Even...
The budget wasn't that big and it wasn't that bad. But in the hands of somebody else, that would have been a great, great movie. Because the story's not bad.
It's not.
I liked the girl that played Angela. I think that she was kind of perfect for the role. I think that the biggest problem with her acting was that, as you were saying, she was like a $1.10 with an anchor tied to her.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that she put a lot of effort into the actual fight
killings,
scenes.
Yeah.
Like, I think that she might have been a little better served if maybe she went through a
She's got
quick
little
training
twig
program.
arms like me. I'll still put some fucking effort into that shit. Like, fuck you, man.
Like, she could get into the punny part and the happy part, but when it came to killing someone, there was just no real effort.
No.
You know?
We should recast that movie right here, right now. That was just a bad idea I came up with.
So, recast it right now?
Right now. Let's recast 2 and 3.
Recast 2 and... Well, there's a lot of people to recast there.
No, just the main characters.
Okay, so we're talking Angela.
Let's do
if
this.
We're doing a remake right now.
Let's do this. A director. Like, somebody that would have made a better job with it.
In the 1980s, a director that would have done a better job with that, there's a lot of people
Or now.
I think that particular set of movies would have been better in the hands of Lloyd Kaufman, personally. Back in the
Tarantino.
Tarantino, he wasn't really in the movie game at that point, though.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if we're remaking it right now.
Let's just think Robert Rodriguez, Tarantino. If they make up those movies now.
Reason I said Lloyd Kaufman in the 80s is because Lloyd Kaufman was actually in his prime. He was making the better, bigger budget movies, like the original Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
He made the classic Nuke 'Em High movies. This is way before Romeo and Juliet ever came into the picture.
He did Nuke 'Em High. I remember Nuke 'Em
And
High.
he actually did some quality, higher budget looking movies. It was all low budget, but he did better movies back then.
Yeah.
So
He
I think
did great with... Because I remember Toxic Avenger and I remember Nuke 'Em High. And he did pretty good with what he had. And
I think putting it in his hands, the practical effects would have been a lot better. He probably could have done more on a lower budget. He was right up there with Frank Henenlotter as far as I'm concerned. If you put it in Henenlotter's hands, it would have been a darker movie and it would have been just as comedic.
I do think they should make them today. And I think either Tarantino or Robert Rodriguez, who have done a great job.
They've done a good job working together. Put them both in the same movie. Have them dual direct.
Even better.
Cast Minnie Driver as fucking Angela.
Minnie Driver's a little too old for the role now.
Well, now she is, but back in the day...
back in the day she could have.
Who was Jessica Jones? Kristen what?
Oh my god,
Breaking
yes!
Bad?
Yes!
She could do that.
Fucking shit, I don't know her name.
Kristen, oh my god, Jessica Jones the other day and...
Oh, Kristen Ritter.
Yes. She could be Angela.
John Ritter's kid. Yeah, she is fantastic.
But I am sure she can make herself look like the nice girl who turns out to be...
She already does a bunch of fight scenes,
She's got that Juliette Lewis look about her. Like, Juliette Lewis was playing teenagers well into her late 20s.
Yeah.
She could play a younger...
I see her being able to play a bad girl trying to be good. Or trying to seem good.
Right.
Type of role.
I could see that. I could definitely see Kristen Ritter doing that, and she would definitely put the effort in when it came to the kills, too. So, Minnie Driver, old version. We could have recast that way back when, because she would have been a good fit there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got Kristen Ritter for a remake.
Yeah, for today's remake by Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino.
Now, We got lead roles outside of that. So the Renee Estevez role from the first movie, I think it's Molly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Molly from the first movie. Who would you have used to recast her? Or I should say the second movie. So she was the good girl that survived to the end. She made it through the entire movie.
A lot of nowadays actors that could play teenagers.
So it needs to be sort of an innocent-looking good girl alongside of...
Chloe Grace Moretz.
There you go. That would actually work.
Yeah.
Zac Efron could be that other counselor that was trying to get with the young girls. Or young girl.
Okay, so, like, that counselor that was, like, fucking the
creepy
camper...
counselor.
Yeah. He, like... I couldn't tell if he was, like, fucking 50 or not, like, fucking 70. Like, the dude with the fucking white hair? Yeah. What the fuck is up with
I'm talking the one from the movie 2.
Okay.
The one that wanted to... Yeah.
We're not talking number 3 yet. We're talking number 2.
No, 2.
Okay. Huh.
You're talking about, like, the ultra buff guy?
Kind of buff, yeah. With the hair, with the 80s,
that had, like, the
hair.
mullet thing going on?
Yeah, that guy.
So let's see.
I like Zac Efron for that one.
Yeah.
Zac Efron with a mullet. Actually, no. That kid from, have you seen Stranger Things 3?
Yes.
One of the main bad guys from that movie.
Oh, the kid that plays Billy?
Billy, yeah. There we go. The guy that plays Billy. I don't know his name for the life of me. It's one of those actors' names that I just didn't commit to memory.
Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. I'm on live stream on TikTok right now, so
you
don't
can
mind me.
use my phone to go to the Google, too.
The Google. You people in the Google.
I could see him for a current version. Now, who would you have hit in the 80s? If we're talking about a bigger budget. Are we talking about a bigger budget, or are we still staying low?
The Corys should have been there.
I could see
Corey Feldman and Corey Haim.
Corey Feldman and Corey Haim as Emilio and
Carlos?
And Carlos.
Yes.
Okay, Daiquiri Montgomery, okay.
Yeah, because Carlos and Emilio were already grown at that time.
All right, so Billy played.
Carlos was Charlie and Emilio were already grown ups at that time. Charlie probably was already doing drugs at that time.
In the 80s?
Oh yeah.
They were maybe in their 20s at that time, right?
Yeah.
About that. But yeah, I could have seen the Coreys doing that. I say
have Rob Macchio do something in the 80s one.
Who?
Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid?
Oh, Ralph Macchio. Okay, I was like, I heard something completely different.
No one can talk today, apparently.
Once a fucking podcast. I got to trip over my tongue.
Something different. I like Delfront, though.
But you could have just populated that with, like, some of the lower budget, 80s kids, honestly, Christian Slater wasn't used heavily in the 80s at that point. You had him in Heathers, you had him in Legend of Billie Jean, but he still wasn't the high-budget star he started to become a few years later.
We're going to put some makeup on, say, John Lithgow, the guy that ran the camp.
Mullet boy in the 80s.
Made him a little older in the 80s.
The counselor in the 80s with the mullet. Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
Would have done that. Because he had the mullet in Lost Boys. Could have done something very similar.
Definitely.
So.
Yep, I like him for that.
All right, so
now,
how about we already did
Zac
the mullet
Efron.
counselor. We had that Zac Efron. But I mean, in all honesty, if you did it nowadays, all you got to do is you got to farm Disney talent.
Yeah.
You farm Disney and Nickelodeon talent. Not fully well-known people, but some of the lesser-known people from the popular TV shows, and you got your low budget right there because they just want the experience in the movies. It's like, hey, we got a big movie. It's going to go on the big screen.
Robert
no directory,
Rodriguez.
Blu-ray. I don't care. Let's go.
Robert Rodriguez or Tarantino or both.
Now
do that movie again.
Yeah,
I'll
right?
watch it twice.
One thing that I did notice about the other two movies is that unlike the first movie, which actually strayed away and could have honestly have been like a made-for-TV horror film, they actually went full-on exploitation films for the next two movies. So there were a lot of TNA in the next two movies.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more blood. The kills were definitely a bit more graphic in the second one. The third one, not so much. There was definitely blood, but there was not a lot of graphic stuff outside of that one girl who got her head chopped off.
Yeah.
Blood?
Blood!
You had close-up shots of people just screaming.
Yeah. It's just a mess altogether.
They could have done a little bit better with just a little bit more time, but they filmed the two movies almost back-to-back, 88, 89.
That doesn't mean that you couldn't put a little more effort into your acting. This shit was bad.
I think I was more disappointed by all of the other folks in the movie than I was by Angela.
Yes. Pamela Springsteen did, like, a decent job as Angela, with the exception of, beating people up. Because that shit was weak, bitch.
Right.
What are you doing?
I mean, she could have swung for the park. She
could have.
They didn't use enough, I want to say, creative angles.
Yeah.
They literally just had her swinging at people. So, at best, she can put enough effort into it to tap them on the back. She doesn't want to actually bludgeon them. They're not preparing for actual creative angles. They could have just had her swinging like crazy off screen.
Yeah.
So many movies rely on that. Just a little bit of blood spatter. She's swinging like crazy. You see the face.
Blood!
A little bit of blood splatter, yes.
Blood!
But they weren't creative enough about it. They just went for the straight out angles. Showed her hitting people with minimal effort. I have experience with that. I helped my kids film a couple of really bad short films a little while back, and I'm not going to tell you what they are or where to find them. You guys can be creative and find them on your own.
I am sure they were better than Sleepaway Camp too.
Probably.
But a lot. Some kid hit me with a water bottle. Was supposed to knock me out. Not a water bottle, but those big 55-gallon things that you put on top of a water dispenser. Yeah, I just had him just smacking the hell out of me with that thing, and I just said I know I'm going to get a few welts, but just go for it. Just make it look real. Just hit me as hard as you can with that thing. He's like, you sure? Yeah, just smack me.
A couple of
I don't think I'm in fighting shape, but a water bottle shouldn't be a problem.
Right. I was in better shape down there than I was up here. I moved back up here, and I put on some padding. Down there, you sweat it all off. You walk everywhere. Up here, it's too much public transportation in Massachusetts to be consistent with good health.
Yeah.
Blood?
Ah.
I'm sorry.
We're all being entertained by other people.
He lies. He's not actually sorry.
Bloody is just too catchy.
We do not fucking apologize for anything here. Yeah. We're not sorry. As a matter of fact, fuck you. Wait,
Blood.
No, not fuck you.
What? Baby did. Baby's got what? Blood.
Blood!
What does he have? Blood.
Okay. What was that, a vine, or what was that?
It was a video. The baby was drinking some juice. The little baby. The older brother, who's probably 3 years older, he goes crazy of the red liquid coming out the baby's mouth, and he goes,
Thinks the
Daddy,
kid's bleeding?
The baby! Blood!
Thinks the kid's a vampire.
Well, the dad is acting stupid just to rile the kid up, and the kid says, the baby, right here! And when the daddy acts like he doesn't understand, the kid goes,
Blood!
Yeah.
Alright, so I think that's about enough of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. We could give more due to Miss Angela Baker. We're going to put her right up there. I'm not going to rank her too high on my movie serial killer list.
Nah.
To be honest. Creative kills, don't get me wrong, but if we put her up there with all the other people that we've seen that have been in franchises, you're not going to put her up there with Pinhead, Michael Myers, Jason.
Not.
She's a bit further down on the list. She got a couple of movies out of her. I think 3, 4, maybe 5. I believe there are a couple of movies that are just not easy to find right now. They did make them, just not easy to find.
They exist somewhere.
But I'm ranking her way down there. She's under those guys. She's not. I don't even consider her better than Chucky.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, Chucky was a mean bastard.
She was fun to watch for what they were, but if they had just trained her a little bit better. You know, maybe put her through a physical training course, make her look a little bit more buff, and tell her to swing for the fences. Put a little bit of padding on your actors' backs and let her swing for the fences.
Yep.
I think I got a good laugh out of it because of how bad they were.
Yeah.
I don't remember what movie this was, but she reminded me of this guy. Maybe was it? Oh, what was it? The original Revenge of the Nerds, Lamar. Just swinging.
Oh my God, you brought me back.
Just swinging, but like putting no effort into it. What are you doing? Just tapping. And that didn't sound like tapping, actually. I'm sorry. That sounded a little bit more...
well then... Blood!
That came out a little more sexual than I wanted it to sound.
With blood?
With blood. So, that being said, we're going to go to our sponsor, and we will be back in just a moment with the separate segments. So, we're going to come back with first Miss...
Tea Time with Honey!
Yes, Miss Honey Bee. And... I don't know why I did that. Just and then the brain went out. So Tea Time with Honey, and then over here we're gonna have Omar for cinematic soundtracks.
Yeah,
Soundtrack Anarchy. My apologies, I mixed it up.
Yeah.
Well, just fuck me. Go listen to our sponsor. Hey, this is Chris from the Cinematic Anarchy podcast, and if you love listening to podcasts as much as I do, well then the Podcoin app is the perfect app for you. It pays you to listen to us or virtually any other podcast in Podcoin. And what you do is you turn those Podcoins into either gift cards for places like Amazon or Starbucks, or you can actually turn those Podcoin into wonderful things like charitable donations if you're that kind of good, wonderful, beautiful-hearted person. So here's what you do. You're going to go ahead and download the app right now from iPhone or Android, and you can use the special code ANARCHY to get your first 300 Podcoin for free, just for signing up. And then if you listen to enough of us on there, you can go ahead and get those wonderful gift cards from Amazon or Starbucks, or you can do the right thing and donate those Podcoin to charity. You know, like a good, kind-hearted person. Trust me, when you start using the Podcoin app, it'll change your life. It'll change the way that you listen to your podcast. Go, run, download that app right now, and love it just like we at Cinematic Anarchy do. Thank you. All right, so thank you for sticking around through our sponsors, which I do frequently. I want to thank them for sticking around, because I know a lot of people, they fucking turn out when the commercials come on. Fast forward, tune out, whatever the hell they do. So we're going to go right into our new segments. We're going to start with Tea Time with Honey.
All right, guys. So earlier this week, I was exploring YouTube, right? And you know how you get sucked into those YouTube fucking black holes where you just start clicking on random fucking videos? Well, okay, so I was looking across giant underwater sea creatures and fucking, just weird shit that's in the ocean. And I came across these fucking, quote-unquote, mermaid sighting videos. And 90% of these mermaid sighting videos are people in mermaid fishtail swimsuits just fucking drowning. What the fuck is that shit? You can very clearly see the outline of, their knees and their feet inside the swimsuit. It's so clearly made synthetic fucking materials. And it's ridiculous! Oh god, I can't. Oh god, people make me want to fucking scream. You're just sitting there on your fucking boat while this person is drowning in front of you, and you're like, oh my god, ha ha ha, it's a fucking mermaid. Shut the fuck up, put your goddamn phone down, jump in the water and help this bitch. Clearly she can't get her head up. Oh my god, and that's the thing, fucking people see someone in distress, and they just fucking take out their phone and they start recording. They're like, oh my god, this is gonna be a fucking viral video. Help the person! Don't do something! Jesus Christ! Oh my god! People give me cancer. I tell you, man. This shit is just fucking ridiculous. Everyone's just like, oh my god, this is gonna be the most fucking viral video on my page. I'm gonna get so many fans and requests and messages because I recorded this thing. Shut the fuck up, get off your goddamn shit, help the person. Oh god. Okay, I'm done ranting.
How are we looking as a society nowadays? you guys will agree, we all as a society are looking for the next thing to get offended about. However, when some shit really happens, all we fucking do is get our phone out and record it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Where are we headed?
It's like a psychological condition where everybody feels something's happening in front of them, and everybody's looking around like somebody else will take care of this.
Yeah.
And it only really happens in groups. Like when you have a bunch of people just standing around and something happens directly in front of them, nobody around's calling 911. You know, somebody gets right down the street. Somebody got hit on a motorcycle a couple of days ago. Nobody around's calling 911.
Yeah.
Right?
You got like 8 fucking people recording the goddamn accident.
They're all on their
but
phone.
Nobody's calling 911. No one's fucking helping the person. No one's making sure this person's, alive.
You know, wait till the people on Facebook see this. I'm gonna get so many likes. No, dude, put your phone down.
Yeah, right? Like, shit, man. What the fuck?
And the time that it takes you to make that video, I will go home, get you some mustard, and I will make you eat that bitch.
On some
Idiot.
shit, though?
I agree with you, though, where society, we've become about our phones. We've become about the experience that happens through our phones and videotaping every bit of chaos that goes on around us. Instead of reaching out and helping the person in front of you, it is a better idea to most people to get the likes on their YouTube page or their Facebook page. You know what? Be the person that puts out a helping hand. Don't be the person that just stands there and waits for somebody else to fucking do it.
Yeah, right?
I don't know why, and at some point somebody decided that it was cool, that the level of empathy and the natural human need to help others. Because naturally, as a person, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Why not somehow help others? Yeah, I understand you don't want to help nobody too much, but still, that's a human nature. That's human nature. Love and service is human nature. How is that lower than your fucking need for attention?
Also, I gotta say something about your mermaid videos here. I feel that the girl in the suit who's decided this is a fantastic idea. I don't think it's the girl that thought it was a great idea. I think some guy has his girlfriend. He's like, what would be fun? What we should do is we should do a mermaid hoax video, and we're gonna get you this. I'm gonna buy you this, and you're gonna go and we're gonna Little Mermaid you up, and we're gonna drop you off in the water, and then I'm gonna stand over here on the dock and I'm gonna film everything. And the first thing in my head is, first of all, hun, if you have sat there and your boy is about to drop you off in the deep end with a mermaid tail on, you drop that idiot. If he thinks that he needs to kill you to get likes on fucking Facebook or YouTube, fuck him.
So these videos, I'm pretty sure there's like a clip-on extension for the fin as the flipper thing. And it looks like that came unclipped. And her feet are like a quarter of the way up the fucking swimsuit.
Okay.
So she can't fucking get any goddamn water under her fucking body. And they're just sitting there like, oh my god, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up, bro. Oh god, I hate people so much. My tag name is Honey Be Kind. I'm not very kind. I'm so mean. I hate people so much.
I feel like that tag name, at least with some of the rants that you do, is sort of like this is how people have to approach you. Honey, be kind.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, honey, be kind.
Yet, you still help somebody if you can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you see what I'm saying here?
With basic human decency.
Exactly. We need to try to be the person on the video that comes and break up that fight and give this kid advice, or the person on the video that take off his shoes to give it to somebody, instead of being the person filming it.
So the moral to our story here is that if you approach Honey and say, Honey, be kind, she's going to tell you, Honey, stop being a fucking idiot.
Exactly.
Yes.
Pretty much.
And she might ask you, who do you have filming this shit?
Yeah, right? Deadass though.
The audacity.
God.
Put away the phone and the camera before we use it as a suppository.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. People they'll take out their phones and they'll do good deeds just for the fucking likes. And it puts that person who's actually in need in a fucking controversial position, because then fucking, if that video goes viral, then they're forever going to be known as that homeless person, as that fucking person who needs help constantly. It's fucked up. Just help the person and don't record yourself doing it. It's just It's common sense.
Well, not a lot of things brings as much personal satisfaction as giving affection to animals and helping somebody in need. You have to do it for what it gives you as a person, not for the attention of others.
Exactly. Like, spread the awareness of the issue without outing that person directly.
So, not just saying anything about these people that are actually filming these fucking videos, but let's actually approach the watchers too. Because let's be entirely honest with you. People on YouTube, people on Facebook, people watching fucking videos anywhere. Vines, you watch it on TikTok. People are watching you make a rant. They will watch you do rants all day long, but how many people do you think are going to turn in if you're doing some kind of charitable event?
Probably not that many.
Right. So people want to see...
They'll tune in later on when it gets actually recognized by big names.
Right.
That's only when it'll start getting fucking any kind of recognition.
People want to see the chaos. People want to see the shit hit the fan. There's so many people out there that would much rather watch all the misery going on in society right now than actually go out there and do something about it.
Exactly.
They'd actually rather create the misery than go out there and do something about it. So the watchers and the recorders, they're doing the same fucking thing.
Yep.
You're just creating something that people are looking for. And it's kind of sad. I mean, if that's all that people want is just misery constantly.
It's entertainment. That's all it is.
Misery shouldn't be entertainment.
That's all it is in these days.
And that's what people do.
That's what society has turned into. Misery is that entertainment. Like, people love seeing people get hurt. People
Reality television.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Jackass. People love seeing people get hurt.
Honey Boo Boo.
There you go.
That's not necessarily seeing people get hurt, but they're making fun of people for who they are.
Exactly.
You know?
Fucking shit. I know a good amount of people who just watch the Kardashians to talk shit.
And I know a lot of you...
I don't watch the Kardashians so I can talk shit.
I don't need to. They're fucking everywhere. God.
And then you have...
For no reason. Because one bitch sucked a dick on camera. Shut the fuck up.
And then you have the stupid assholes that idolize her.
Yeah.
And her sisters. I hate those process people.
Not for nothing, I don't like how Kim got her fame, but she was just taking a cue from Paris.
Yeah.
She was Paris' makeup artist. She was like, well, Paris can do it. I can do it.
Exactly.
So basically, it's all about rich girls doing stupid shit for attention, and that's the root of it all.
Fucking...
We need to ask ourselves a lot of questions as a society.
We got Danielle Bregoli, who fucking got famous for being a piece of shit to her mom.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Cash Me Outside.
What does that say to us about us as a society if these are the people that are the people we're idolizing?
Exactly.
So, as a society, we're making stupid people famous.
Yep.
We're doing good deeds just to go viral for the likes. And then we ain't doing shit about really bad shit happening. Because we gotta film it for a viral video.
Yeah.
You need to, all of us, not just you, me included, all of us need to ask ourselves, where the fuck are we going?
We need more people who are willing to be active like Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old climate activist.
Exactly.
Right.
She's fucking, she's 16. She should be doing 16-year-old things, but she feels the need that she has to go out and speak to fucking Congress and the rest of the world fucking leaders about climate change, because the rest of the fucking world leaders don't want to listen to actual scientists. Fucking, oh my god. Speaking of scientists.
Not just the rest of the world, it's mostly our world.
Yeah, no, yeah. Our country. Goddamn.
Rest of the world's listening fine. They didn't pull out of the Paris Accord.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just Murica.
Fucking Trump is trying to make someone who's not a scientist chief scientist. What the fuck is that shit?
Yes.
Well,
I'm like, this is completely off topic of mermaids.
But that is his latest stroke of genius.
You sure he's not a mermaid?
I don't fucking know, man. He is living in a goddamn cartoon.
You've seen that cartoon, right?
Yeah, I think
Our American president?
Yep.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
Yes.
I love that. And they don't pull punches either. They're equally damning of Republicans as they are Democrats for the spineless people they become.
At the end of the day, politics has always been a dirty game, but in later years it has become way dirtier.
Yeah.
Like, blatantly and obviously, like, people are not even trying to look like they're not dirty in both sides.
They're
Who can be dirtier and hide it better?
They're using fucking, meaningless...
Like in the 60s.
Hollywood hype to cover up the fucking Epstein sex cult with children. Like, when was the last time you guys actually read something about the sex cult from Epstein? Like, that shit got shut down and fucking the case was dismissed because Epstein died in custody.
Yep.
How many people worked for him?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Fucking
people had to facilitate.
He has a little black book with names and fucking receipts and shit with people's names. It's no coincidence that this fucking dude died. Like, oh my god, he was fucking murked. And speaking of murked,
wild suicide.
6ix9ine is about to get fucking murked if he ever leaves jail. I'm telling you now. He's snitching on everybody.
Oh boy, yeah, that's
Well,
I don't have anything to say about that.
You know, I've seen a lot of people justify this.
Granted, if I was in his position, I wouldn't be protecting any goddamn person either, knowing that they were out to kill me or that they were the ones setting me up to get sent to prison in the first place. However, the fact that he was outed as an informant so publicly is fucked up. Like, fuck him altogether, he's a piece of shit. But they shouldn't have outed him as an informant.
Well, there's certain rules to that game he started playing.
And this is why
if you are not man enough to deal with somebody that robbed you, yourself, face to face as a man, you shouldn't have portrayed yourself as no type of gangster. You ain't no gangster, you're a pussy.
Can I just say something about 6ix9ine
Yeah.
here? They're going to have fun with him in prison.
Oh my god.
You don't go into prison with rainbow-colored hair. I'm just saying.
No.
You're going to be somebody's Rainbow Bright doll.
Oh, he already is.
Yeah, a lot of people are
He already
rubbing their
is.
hands.
Are you kidding me?
A lot of people are rubbing their hands waiting on him right now. They're ready.
Oh, and that would be my water bottle. Okay.
He got himself sent to this, like, protection zone area. I don't even fucking know.
His nickname will still be Choo Choo.
Exactly.
All right. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start up Mr. Omar's side of the... Well, this is not a rant, so this is a discussion about a musical soundtrack.
Yes.
Soundtrack Anarchy.
Yeah. In this segment, what we do is we go into soundtracks of movies that came around the same time movies we're reviewing that week. One of my favorite soundtracks from one of my favorite movies is the soundtrack for Goodfellas. I'm a music head, like we've said repeatedly here, and nothing is more pleasurable to a person who is obsessed with music than the whole variety and chronological order of the music in that movie. I loved it. The whole movie itself was wonderful, but just the way the musical background to 30 years in the mob, to that movie, it basically starts with some big band stuff. So the movie starts with this guy talking and narrating his thoughts. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be a gangster. And cue the big band music from that time. And then throughout the movie, you start hearing different music. The music gets darker into that 60s classic rock, that 70s classic rock, those darker Rolling Stones and stuff like that. I loved it because of that chronological order. So you go from your Wise Guy Standards, the Louis Primas, the Dean Martins of the world, and you go into Aretha Franklin, the Deep Soul, the Marvelettes. It was because of that, it was such a great soundtrack. I will say of all the gangster movies that I've seen, and I watched a lot of them, that has to be the best soundtrack of it all, because it kept it real, not only with the story, which was based on a true story, but with what the music was back then. If I ever had a film about my life, I want the guy that chose those songs to choose mine, because I'm sure he talked to people and asked, and probably was there, and is an older person who knew the music. I think, to me, it was the perfect. I sat down and thought about it a lot, and yesterday I was doing a lot of things listening to that soundtrack, and I have to say that has to be my favorite soundtrack of all time as far as movie goes. If we're gonna really compare a soundtrack with a movie. because it talks about a time and place and era. And throughout, because we're talking 30 years time, the music is changing. So, to me, I loved it. And if you like both Dean Martin, Tony Bennett, and you also like Aretha Franklin and the Rolling Stones, and you like records, get it. It's everywhere. It's a very famous soundtrack. And if you go to Discogs.com, you could get it in the vinyl. All my fellow vinyl lovers out there, but it's also in CD. You can download it on MP3 and Amazon. It is a great listen. And it's usually, it basically, a lot. If anybody watches the movie, listening to the soundtrack will put you in every scene because it's like chronologically ordered like the same way. And then you're going to miss a lot of songs that didn't make it to the soundtrack. You got a lot of stuff that didn't make it to the soundtrack, but on YouTube, all the songs that were in the movie are on a YouTube playlist. Just look for songs for the movie Goodfellas or full soundtrack to Goodfellas. That's how I found what I listened to. And then because I have the soundtrack, I went, wait, but this isn't on the record. But I remember it being in the movie, as it happens. You want to listen to that because classic rock, but it'll make you, the variety of music makes you rounded when it comes to, if you really like music, you want to listen to everything you could and appreciate everything you could for what it is. My grandpa used to say every sound has its magic. So if you like classic rock and like big band music and jazz and all the jazz standards, the Dean Martins, Frank Sinatras and them, you want to listen to that. Next soundtrack, I'm going to become better prepared. I was so excited that I forgot to organize better. I wanted to just say all this shit to the music in the background. But I did it a little late. I wanted to have prepared. But my recommendation for a soundtrack, if you want to listen to anything and nothing else, listen to that soundtrack because it gives you an idea of the progression and the decay of one person who started on one end and ended up on another completely destroyed. Morally. Just like the movie.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Are we set now?
I mean, if you heard songs from the soundtrack.
Oh, no, I was just... can I talk now?
Of course. I'm sorry. I get excited about music. I become a 12-year-old again when I talk about music. Music means a lot to me, and that soundtrack was very deep. Because it went deep into reality. It didn't just throw songs that will sound great.
So, I mean, the entire soundtrack, it basically sets the mood for the events of the movie.
How a soundtrack should.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about somebody's life for 20 years.
Kind of
Everybody listens to the radio.
Kind of like that film we watched a little while back, the Brawl in Cell Block 99. How a lot of those movies, the songs that he was listening to as he was going along in the car, different scenes, how it kind of set the mood of what was going on at the time.
You feel like all movies that will give you that long of a period of time should chronologically cover that way. A lot of movies don't.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have actually a lot of input in that area. I need to maybe go listen to that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, my next soundtrack for next week.
Oh, don't let anybody know yet.
No, keep that shit a surprise.
No, I'm gonna go more prepared.
Okay.
But it's gonna be something both of you can put input. Okay, I can't bring input in because I'm already.
Well, yeah, let us know so we can let us know ahead of time so we can listen so we know what you're talking about.
You will know after we're done recording. I have 3 candidates, depending on the movie we're reviewing next week.
Oh, you're not going to be here next week.
But I'm going to record it.
Oh, so you're going to record your thing and then send that to us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's how it works.
Right.
And you guys are going to just go in on that.
Sounds good.
Good shit.
All right, so what we're going to do now is I want to thank both of you for preparing yourselves today. Yes, Pitch Storm, that is what we're going to go ahead and do.
Woo!
And we will go ahead and set up the cards. I think we might be able to just sort of slip right into it. I don't have to break up the monotony too much. Should have set these up beforehand and been much more prepared, but...
Yeah, we had plenty of time.
You want to talk about lack of preparation.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. I really don't want to lose the anarchy.
No?
No, I love the anarchy.
I like chaos.
So chaos makes for happy accidents that art is made of.
That is why, if you've noticed, I don't know if you're listening to the podcast now, watching over here, we rarely ever do anything that requires editing. I don't like editing. And the reason why, it's not that I don't feel like this should be cleaner or whatever, but I feel like you lose a little bit of the nuance. Things that are going on around you, things that you are actually doing. You edit things out, it's like, hey, you know what, I tripped over my tongue in the middle of the podcast, I want to cut that out. No, I don't want to cut that out.
Yeah, fuck it.
I trip over my tongue at least once a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not editing that shit out. Wow, I didn't even... little bits of cardboard in the... I don't even know what that is. All right. You got the rest of the cards, my dude. So
I do.
I got the character cards here. I'm going to go ahead and have Miss B.
All right.
Pick a card, any card. Oh, you cheated. Well, we're only doing one this time. I forgot.
Okay.
One. We're doing one. So I'm going to pick a note card. I'm going to go with whatever. And you pick one.
Plot card.
Plot card. We're going to go ahead and have... Actually, you know what? I'll read them this time because you guys got your separate segments. I get to do this, you know? All right.
Yes!
I already can't wait.
It's the character card.
Little bit of dead silence for a minute there just because I picked... well, I didn't pick, but Miss Nico picked...
I love the plot, but when I read my plot and I heard her reaction to what she chose, I was like, oh, this is going to be crazy.
Okay, so what we have here is a lost tribe of women that literally eats dicks is kidnapped by terrorists.
Yes!
Let's add some cancer, but don't make it a big deal. Oh no, did we not do this for...
We already did that.
We did that for Donald Trump here. Donald Trump gets cancer. Let's
leave that cancer with him.
Yeah, we'll leave that there. Okay. Okay. Let's see the whole story in a hot tub.
All right.
A hot tub dick eating machine? I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be.
No. I don't think a hot tub.
A lost tribe of women.
They have
the cast.
They had a collective big hot tub in their compound.
The cast from Wonder Woman.
Cast from Wonder
Just
Woman?
the whole cast.
The whole cast.
So how about
Amazon women who eat
yes.
Compound? How about the terrorists have a compound when they take these women? And I guess people to start turning up without their dicks. One of them, at the end, well, we should just make it a mystery, and they're supposedly kidnapped, but they're already taking their revenge on these guys.
Okay. So...
Most of the...
I'm trying to feel like...
dick eating happens when they go into their little, like, spa hot tub area, and the fucking... You got, like, Amazonian women fucking just hiding under the water.
Let's, for shits and giggles...
Piranha that bitch!
For shits and giggles, let's make these terrorists white supremacists.
Alright.
Those women.
White supremacist terrorists.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Make them the fucking Nazis from fucking...
Okay.
Captain America!
There you go.
There you go.
Or...
Let's say we've already gone DC versus Marvel.
Yeah,
no,
fuck it!
but those are German. I was talking domestic terrorists.
Oh, like
okay.
Oh, you're talking like the guys from... Oh, you guys didn't see Blind Fury. I did that with Zeph.
Nope.
So you're talking about like deep south redneck kind of white supremacist. I'm gonna tote around my cross and my shotgun kind of terrorists.
The Proud Boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Them.
And now I'm not saying anything about good Christians who happen to own a shotgun. I'm talking about the ones that treat...
You know who you are.
You know who you are. We've seen you in the news. We know why you're labeled that way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for you protecting yourself. And if religion gets you through your day, more power to you. I'm not religious. I don't care for guns, even though I believe everybody should have one just in case. But if you need to take a picture with both your Bible and your gun, we're talking about you.
Right, and you were actually talking to me about this the other day. If you are walking around with a shotgun and a Bible and you're toting this as some sort of religious thing, you're no better than the terrorists.
Oh,
you're no better than the
they
Taliban.
finally started recognizing fucking white nationalism as terrorism. It's about goddamn time. Motherfuck.
That took a minute.
Honestly, what the fuck took them so long?
I mean, it's not that far off from being a Nazi. Period.
It is Nazism. It's basically...
It's Nazi-esque gets.
It's Nazi-esque. I mean, obviously the Nazis had different motivations.
Nazi-ish.
For what they... Yeah, Nazi-ish. Yeah. Nazi-ish, Nazi-esque.
White nationalists are all about the fucking freedom of speech bullshit and whatever. Like, they have no problem sporting their Nazi fucking uniforms and their fucking swastikas and all that shit, along with their Confederate flags.
Here's what I feel.
You ain't American if you're sporting a fucking Confederate flag. Y'all took pride in seceding from the States, bitch.
Lost tribe of women that literally eats dicks. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the movie.
I got a different feel about this, and Lee, tell me how you feel about this. We got a group of good old boys, these guys that have been convicted of terrorism on American soil. They have escaped. All right, they have escaped their prison sentence. Somehow got away with. They were all in a paddy wagon, a nice van of some sort. You got 8 or 9 of these guys. They managed to overtake the guys that are running the wagon, and they go south of the border. Okay. So they go south of the border, end up in Brazil. Okay, they are trying to escape. I don't know how much of the rainforest is left, whatever's going on down there. But they go and they try to escape, and they run across
that shit's still on fire, probably.
They run across these women. So these terrorists figure they're gonna pull their guns. They're gonna do what they do best. They're gonna bully their way into this situation. You guys are gonna hide us out here, and they basically have taken control of this tribal land.
All right.
The hot tub in question is a big old cauldron full of hot water.
Okay. Somebody attached a motor to it.
Basically, what you're looking at is you're looking at something that kind of looks like a hot tub, and it functions sort of like a hot tub, but these guys get kind of poisoned one by one. So these women from the Amazon.
Oh,
women.
They gotta remove the dicks before they poison the guys, because otherwise then that dick's gonna be poisoned and they can't eat it.
So I want to say poison, but I'm feeling more like a tranquilizer.
Yeah, okay.
So they basically, these guys, they're kind of taking them off one by one, doing whatever they need to do to kind of get them separated. And this is how they prepare said dicks, is they lure them over to the hot tub. And they dose them with something. Kind of like roofing the guys, so to speak.
All right.
And they wake up still very much alive, but dick-free.
Dick-less.
Dick-less, dick-free, and tied up somewhere.
Relief
they're sure to fucking stitch that shit up so they don't bleed out.
Oh, no. Right. It's just like genital mutilation.
Yeah.
You know, some tribes are accused of. They just stitch the whole thing up. You no longer have your working parts down there.
So...
And they drop them in a pit.
How about they don't...
Living.
How about they don't roofie them?
No?
They feel everything.
Yes.
There is a drug that
where you're like
paralyzes you,
and you can still feel everything.
You can't say anything. Yes. You can't move, and you can feel everything.
I have no idea.
That's how some of them die in the process. Not all of them, but some of them.
So I like Gal Gadot for this.
Yes.
Wonder Woman herself.
Yep.
As the head of the tribe. These got to be like...
She lives in trees, at the top of trees, up there, way high, and she just comes down and...
I feel there's a supernatural aspect to this movie.
Should be.
These women come off looking like Amazonian, almost like supermodels.
Yep.
The reality is, if you catch a reflection in the water, you catch a reflection anywhere. These women are hags.
Yep.
All right. They have sort of a supernatural, sort of magical thing that's keeping them looking like this to the outside world. So anybody that sees them sees that. Anybody that sees their reflection sees something completely different.
So to that, one of the rednecks will say in his southern accent, "You look better in person." I reckon.
Holy shit, what is wrong with your mirror? What in the holy fuck is that?
The water must be dirty.
Right,
You look different on the river.
honey, you got something like here? All over there. What the hell is going on? Is that your grandmother? That's not a window, it's a mirror. Oh, shit.
What is the drug?
There's a few different drugs that, like, will paralyze you and you can still feel shit and you're still awake. Midnight Chemical.
They got plenty of anesthetics that do the same thing.
Curane.
Okay.
There's another one. I can't even pronounce that.
It went Oh. So,
Let me see.
Sukin cycloine?
Let me see.
Fucking
Get ready for
No.
a
That
guy
actually-
saying a big
choline?
word
It
in
looks
an
like-
exotic accent.
Sacchinolcholine?
It looks like that almost might be appropriate to the movie.
Yeah.
I will say sucking alkaline. Sucking alkaline.
Well.
Such an alkaline.
Okay.
You're such an alkaline. I guess they produce it naturally in the woods. They have some kind of...
It's a plant
In a
derivative
mortar.
something.
In a mortar, they have it, and they save it for probably animals or whatever, but now they're men that they could cut their dicks off.
Right? So they specifically prey on men, and this is an entire tribe of women. Now, I say that they keep one guy that they feel
Well, they need to keep reproducing women.
they need to reproduce. They don't see guys as anything more than cattle, though.
Yeah.
All right? And the whole dick-eating thing, I feel like that's a fertility exercise. Like, these guys think that they've kidnapped them when the reality is they've been kidnapped themselves.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it till it's too damn late. So, like I said, I like some of the... I feel like these should be like supermodel-looking women. However, there's also that doppelganger that... These are not them, obviously. These are a bunch of... I want to call them old hags, but I don't want to call them hags. I just want to say that they are sort of decrepit, run down, malnourished. They are not the women they present themselves to be. That's like a magical exterior of some sort. It's a way that they, I want to say, cloak themselves in a different look.
Okay.
Than what is actually going on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
There's like a special pollen in the air that fucking causes men to hallucinate the women as like a lot more beautiful and fucking whatever. There's like fucking sailors drinking seawater thinking manatees are mermaids.
So I like Gal Gadot. I like a lot of the older supermodels from the 80s and the 90s. They could be part of it,
Yeah.
I think the tribe elder, Elle Macpherson.
All right.
She actually has acting chops. She's been in a couple movies. She was in Sirens. She was on Friends.
Yeah.
So that's the tribal elder. Who else? So that you got to think about that. Now, for the redneck guys, I kind of like your the two guys from Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
Yes. Oh my god.
I kind of like them. You got to get some evil kind of rednecks going on in there too. People that can play an evil redneck to a T. I'm trying to think.
Throwing a couple of the guys from Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys.
But they're like Canadian rednecks.
They're Canadian. Well, redneck's a redneck.
Redneck's a redneck.
Well, no, okay. I don't want to make that generalization because there's Deep South redneck, there's New Hampshire redneck, and then there's Canadian redneck. There's rednecks everywhere. It's just there's different levels.
Yeah.
I feel like though the guys from Trailer Park, the Trailer Park Boys might be a little too clean cut for what I'm looking at. As weird as it sounds to say that about...
Or Letterkenny.
That might work a little bit better.
Yeah.
I
don't even watch it. My brother does. But he's always posting these GIFs from Letterkenny, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not into that shit, though. I'm not going to watch it, because I don't care.
Yeah, it's I watched a couple episodes.
It's not my thing.
It's not really what I like to watch.
Yeah.
Either. I didn't really watch a whole lot of Trailer Park Boys either.
Yeah, me neither.
I watched some of it. It just...
He likes all that redneck shit. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's that being able to laugh at folks that are much less fortunate than you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad because I'm not doing it. All right, so you populate it with some of the more popular rednecks from television. I could even say you got the lead guy. I want to pull a guy who's known for being a clean-cut, dapper individual and make him do a redneck turn. Okay, how do you feel about the head redneck, the guy that masterminds the whole thing, John Hamm?
Yes.
What do you think? Did I lose you there? John Hamm. Lead guy from, what was that show? Damn.
I got him.
Why did my brain just click out? He was
I know
Mad
John.
Men.
I know John. Yeah, I know John Hamm, and I like him for it. Make him blonde.
Oh my god, yeah.
Bleach out his hair blonde, and you know who else would be perfect after watching that NASCAR heist film? Daniel Craig.
Yes.
That role that he played in
Oh
that
my
NASCAR
God.
heist was so perfect. I loved him in that. What was that? Logan something or other.
I don't even know, but Daniel Craig is a great actor.
And in all honesty, when I heard that he was going to be in that movie, I was like, I don't know if I can take this. And he did something so far from that James Bond role that he's gotten pigeonholed in that I was just like, I love this guy. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I could even see Jesse Eisenberg kind of doing something.
He could be in there, yes, absolutely.
He could be like I want to call him like Little Redneck Mute. He doesn't say anything the entire movie. He's not allowed to speak.
He's just going along with everything. It does everything he's told.
He gets one role. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all he gets to say the entire movie. Oh, no. John Hamm is the one guy that they decide to keep a hold of to reproduce. Because all the other ones are kind of skinny, overweight, or scrawny, or just don't look like good stock. They can even say maybe Daniel Craig.
They're not pleasing to the eye.
They take the Daniel Craig guy and they take John Hamm as these two have to battle to the death.
Yes! Gladiator, bitch!
Oh, not battle to death. They're not allowed to kill him because they need the dick.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the fertility exercise. The last one standing. Yeah, they think he's gonna. Oh, we're gonna let you go. No, you get the reward. What's the reward? Huh? Well, you get to be. You're going to impregnate the tribe. He doesn't even get to sleep
with the girls. They fucking harvest his semen for.
They harvest it. Yeah.
Yeah, for fucking artificial implantation. Yeah.
You would get to impregnate the entire tribe, and he thinks he's just hit the fucking lottery.
Yeah, exactly. Nope, bitch, you're strapped to a fucking table for the rest of your life.
You're going to be milked like a cow. That is how this is going to work. That's it. You get strapped to a wall and you're milked like a cow, and it's painful. Whatever it is that they do to him for the rest of his life is just painful.
One of Cartman's biggest fears.
It's like a fleshlight with teeth. I think that's how the movie should end right there.
Yeah.
He's just strapped to the wall with a fleshlight that's just milking him. And that's him to the end of his days.
Oh my god.
He's fed through a tube and he's extracted through a tube. That's it. God, I doubt you'd get John Hamm to agree to that role, but God,
Probably
if he
not.
did, that would be fun
Yeah,
to
right?
tell.
Yep. Some of the people from blue collar comedy.
You like Bill Engvall and
them all
just
need to be part of that.
Kind of. You at least need Larry the Cable Guy in there.
Yes!
Of course.
You at least need Larry.
Mainly him. He gets killed last because he will be the funniest one of the crew. So you want to keep him for a while to make it entertaining with those guys.
I say, you get the two guys that master. You got the two guys that masterminded the escape. So not two guys. Sorry, you have John Hamm who masterminds the escape, and he uses two guys who get killed off immediately. So the guys that help him escape, that basically help them overtake the truck, we're going to call them Cletus and Tuck, and that is some seriously rednecked up Jeff Foxworthy and Bill Engvall. They bite it early in the movie. They don't have a lot to do with the movie.
Yeah.
They just do some funny shit to help them escape, and then they're off. These are the two rednecks that just bite it real quick. Larry gets to stay with him because he's kind of comedic relief for this group. Because Larry is just lovably stupid.
Yes.
That's his character, too. You know that he fell into Larry the Cable Guy after he was a radio show guy. So he would do call-in things. He would do, like, call-in characters for a radio show. And he did, like, any number of, like, maybe, like, 50 or 60 characters. And this is the one that stuck, that everybody loved, the Larry the Cable Guy thing.
Yeah.
And that he turned into a...
That
he turned into that personality.
Much, yeah.
That's his career. He will forever be known as Larry the Cable Guy till the end of time. I'm just watching this truck, like, trying to drive into our cars outside right now. I live right across from an area where there's trucks frequently pulling in and out of the station next to us, so that's lovely. And my cars are parked on the street, so...
Oh, man.
So that being said, I think while I'm watching the truck try to plow into our individual vehicles outside, I think we'll go ahead and call it a day.
All right.
I want to thank Miss B.
Yeah.
And Mr. Omar for doing their segments today.
Yes, sir.
And we're hoping that these can be mainstays on the podcast. We can come up with frequent things to rant and discuss about. I don't really need my own thing because my thing is being here. I like that. I like being part of this whole gig, and I'm glad that I've got some folks that are attentive and productive and just wonderful people. Wonderful people who basically don't give a fuck sometimes. So we're going to say what we want to say. And to hell with offending people, because you know what? People are going to get offended by
everybody gets offended by something.
You know what? You can get offended by us not liking Trump. I don't like Hillary either. It doesn't mean that if she was in office right now, I'd be bitching about her and all the shit she does.
Right? Are you kidding me? Fucking... I got all these fucking, like, Trump supporters like, oh, well, you must be a Democrat, you fucking liberal. Like, I'm not anything. I'm a decent human being. That's it. That's all you gotta be. I'm not taking labels.
As
be
far
a good
as I'm
person.
concerned... Yeah, that's it, right there. Be a good person. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's not about Democrat, it's not about Republican. And they have made that line. The Democrats and the Republicans, even the Tea Party, all these other fucking people on the independent circuit, you know what? The biggest problem is that we put everything into labels. Exactly. It's not about, I am running for president to make this country a better place. What are you? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? I'm none of it. Somebody needs to step up and do that.
Yeah.
I am not your agenda. I am not your agenda. I am here to say that we need to better the people in this country. We need to better the people in this world. That's what I'm fucking here for. I'm not here for the Republican agenda. I'm not here for the Democratic agenda. I am here for the agenda of the fucking people. Period.
That's how it's gotta be.
The greater good. We need to stop picking sides and think of the greater good.
However, when I do hear the words "I'm a Republican," I automatically get turned off and a little grossed out. Not gonna lie, because most Republicans I've met, not all, but most, are terrible people.
I've met liberals. I have met Republicans. I have met people that associate themselves with independent parties. Not all of them very savory. I have met all sorts of fucking people, and the worst problem facing this country right now, outside of, the obvious lack in education, so on and so forth, is the fact that we have used political lines to divide us so much that we are incapable of working together as a country.
Yeah. We
are just incapable. No matter how much we want to say we're number one, at best top 10. And in most places, bottom 20.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem that we're faced with, is we want to sit here and we want to be number one at everything. We're not. You want to pretend, you can pretend all you want, but if you want to be number one at anything, you've got to be willing to put in the fucking work, put in the effort, and get everybody together to work as a community. And we are one of the biggest country in the world, pretty much, right?
No.
One of the biggest countries in the world?
We are not the biggest country in the world.
Well, I'm not the biggest, but
area-wise.
Here's the thing.
We're not big.
We're bigger than Europe. And most countries in Europe are already richer than this country in a lot of ways. I'm not talking just economically.
Okay, so I shouldn't say biggest country in the world. We're up there.
We're bigger than we should be.
Russia's the biggest country in the world. Where do we fall? Out of size-wise, biggest country in the world. And I'm not talking population. I'm just talking just area in general.
Territorial area.
That being beside the point, we would be a force to be reckoned with if we were all on the same page. But this country and the people that run this country work so hard to divide us and keep us divided, keep us arguing amongst ourselves, keep us fighting with each other, that it's very tough. And I get it. Not everybody has the same opinion on things. You know, one person may be all for abortion, another person may be so religiously dead set against it that it's revolting. The whole idea is to them. Some people are for the death penalty. Other people would rather see somebody spend their life in prison. You know? I don't understand why there are not more people for better education in this country. Mm-hmm. Why we're debating why we don't have more God in the schools.
Okay, so we're the 4th largest country.
4th largest country?
Yeah.
Who do we fall behind?
Russia, Canada, China, us.
Russia, Canada, China, and then us.
Yep.
So we are number 4 in size.
And then Brazil, Australia, India, Argentina, Kazakhstan, and Algeria.
All right. Well, we'll leave you with that educational fact. We spent the last portion of our podcast just doing another rant of our own.
Yeah, fuck it.
You know what? I don't mind the ranting. I like the chatting. I like the talking. And there'll be more rants to come.
Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all have a beautiful time. And go back to your lives, whatever you're doing. And stop, and stop, and stop. It would help if I wasn't hitting the record button to stop doing it.